All right, so I got a reaction to let y'all real quick, man. So I said this a long time ago on my channel, man, that just because a sister got a father don't mean that she's gonna be different from all the other women. Because a lot of the men, this just me growing, like, you know what I'm saying, me growing in the truth and being able to see what's going on in the world and being able to identify what I see for what it is. A lot of women that grow up with fathers are destroyed by their fathers. Their fathers don't know anything either. I finally got an example of a father telling his daughter some dumb shit. Let's get into it.
Me, personally, I'm telling my daughter now at 13, the most important thing she can get in life is a good man. More important than your degree, more important than your fucking career, more important than any of that bullshit. Because
I'm gonna handle this video.
I want to touch on something before we get into any of that, right? Let me touch on that right quick. One of the most important things a woman can do is get a good man. That's a father's job, right? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 24. Hast thou daughters, have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them. Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter. That's one of the most important things a woman can do in her life. That's one of the most important things a woman can do in her life. That's a weighty matter, and it's a father's job to actually care about that. So a lot of women heard what that man said and had an issue with what he's saying. Because the problem is, a lot of our sisters, they didn't prioritize having good people in their life. They prioritized having fun and being happy. Sitting now on the back end, when it's time, you starting to get a little bit older, and all your friends, they got their own family set up. Now you miserable, now your ass online, talking shit about the younger generations. Now you talking shit about all the men that you chose badly, you chose poorly because your father didn't help you with the process. Because actually choosing a spouse is a big deal, and we don't treat it like that.
A little differently. I'm gonna go to my dad, I'm gonna ask him some questions, and I'm gonna show him this video, and I will record his response. So he basically said that he encourages his 13-year-old daughter to get a good man because it's more important than her career and stuff like that. So
I definitely disagree with that.
So how do you feel about that? What's your take on that?
Talking to a 13-year-old girl, goodness. I wouldn't be telling her the best thing to do is get a good man, because that makes absolutely no sense.
You gotta explain why though. You gotta explain why. Why not teach your daughter the truth about the world? Why not? Ask your father, why doesn't that make sense? If you can, ask your father why that don't make sense.
She needs to be a little girl, well,
right?
She needs to be a teenager, and then she needs to experience being a teenage female, and then go through some stuff and figure out later what's a good man.
Which is dumb as hell. That's dumb. First, what is being a teenage female? What is that? What does that mean? Because from my understanding, from what I know about being a teenager, most teenagers act like adults. Most teenagers are losing their virginities. Most teenagers are creating childhood trauma for themselves because they have too much liberty. The scriptures tell you about that. Your children gonna abuse themselves, especially the sisters, from having too much liberty. Too much free reign to do what they want to do. Right? Got another question. Why, as a father, are you not teaching your daughter what a good man is so she ain't got to go out here and figure that shit out? That don't make sense. I want to go in the Bible right quick. That don't make sense. What's the purpose of having a father in the house if you still got to go out on your own and figure out what a good man is? That don't make sense. This is Job chapter 32, and I'm going to start at verse 7. I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. I've been saying this, and I'm glad that I was taught by some proper people, man. These older generations, a lot of them don't be knowing what the hell they talking about. They don't. Our communities are destroyed because we don't know how to stay together as a family. We don't. That's one of the most important things in life, period. Every other race of people understand that. We the only people telling each other to sacrifice your family for your happiness. We the only people that do that. And we at the fucking bottom. Verse 7, I said, days should speak, and multitude of years should teach wisdom. But there is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty giveth them understanding. Great men are not always wise, neither do the age understand judgment. And that's the problem, because I say this to my sister all the time. Everybody don't have good parents. They don't. Everybody don't have parents that understand. They don't. So you know what I'm saying? You was comfortable enough to get your father's reaction and what he would say, right? Why you not comfortable with letting him help you choose a man? Because that's what the Bible, like, that's our culture. Our culture is our fathers was put in a place to try to guide their children to pick the right spouse. That go from husbands and wives. Your parents was there to help you with that. Not for you to do this. Not for you to do this.
Because that makes absolutely no sense. She needs to be a little girl, well, she needs to be a teenager, and then she needs to experience being a teenage female, and then go through some stuff. And
why would you want your daughter to go through some stuff? Well, you know what that sounds like to me? Go out there and build some trauma. Every time I hear somebody say, I went through some stuff, especially women, it's trauma. Because why? She don't know what she doing. I was young and dumb. I just was out here moving and good. I was just doing what I wanted to do. I was having fun. But then when she look back on it, she'll tell you, oh, if I can go back, I probably wouldn't do it like that. I'm a little bit wiser now. I probably wouldn't do it like that. Why would you tell your daughter to do that?
Right, later, what's a good man?
Why would you find out what a good man is on the back end? Like this is one thing that bothered me too. It's a reason why people hated Kevin Samuels, right? It's because y'all fathers didn't do their damn job. Because most of the women that would come on the show, their fathers didn't tell them what a good man was. You should have been figuring that shit out before you left the house. That's the problem. Why would you figure out on the back end what a good man is? He's supposed to be modeling that shit. Let's get some out the Bible right quick. This is Deuteronomy. I'm going to start it. This is Deuteronomy 6, chapter 6, verse 6. And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart. So the words that he commanded are the commandments. This is how you're supposed to structure your life. This is how you're supposed to maneuver throughout society and how you're supposed to deal, right? Verse 7, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. What's the point that I wanted in that? You're teaching your child as they grow up. Your child shouldn't have to try to figure out what a good man is on the back end. We're destroying our daughters. And this is, okay, a lot of people don't be wanting to believe me when I say this. The men are destroying the women, bro. The men. If your daughter raised under a man, like having no father and having a bad father are the same. Because the women that don't have fathers, they saying the same shit. They saying the same thing that these women with horrible fathers are saying. You got to prioritize your happiness over your family. Why create the family if you're going to break it up because you ain't happy? It's called being circumspect. You're supposed to think of all possible outcomes. Why would I create something, right? That's what y'all tell the men. Why would you create a child? Then not take care? Because he was thinking about his own happiness. That's why. He was thinking about himself. But when the man do that, that's a problem, right? And your father finna say something else that's stupid. But your father's supposed to be teaching you this as you grow up. You ain't supposed to figure out what a good man is on the back end. After you done ran through a bunch of bad dudes and messed up your life. Because that's what usually happens. If I'm not mistaken, Even on your channel, you spoke about how after a breakup, you start losing weight because of the stress.
There's some good guys out there, but other than that, there's no such thing as it's better to get a good guy than to get things you want to get. No.
Okay, y'all, so my mom is going to chip in too. So basically, you have a lot of people that feel like women should not prioritize themselves and like their happiness first. They feel like they should put it on the back burner for either the marriage, because the thing like with Tia Mowry and...
This is crazy. And this is the crazy part about society, right? Like the scriptures say, great dignity is set, like, hold up, folly is set in great dignity, right? There's another place in Sirach where it talk about people look at rich people or mighty men in high esteem. When a rich man speak, everybody be like, oh, what is he saying? Oh, let's understand that. But when a poor man says something, like, who man's is this? That's in the Bible. Why is Tia Mowry the standard? Because them same standards that y'all talking about, where you prioritize your own happiness after you created a family, is selfish.
She's getting a divorce, and I think she talked about it on the show, and people in some comments were saying basically what she was doing was disgraceful. She needs to be prioritizing her marriage and not breaking up her family, even though her decision made her happier. Like getting divorced made her happier.
For now. That's the part that y'all don't be getting out of these situations. Who finna deal with her in a serious manner after that? Who? She public to the world. Why? As a man, why would I take her seriously when I see she disloyal? As a man, she ain't good for nothing but bending over. I'm just being straight with you. How you break your family up, right? You break your family up for your own happiness. I'm telling you, if men were to start moving like that, there would be no marriages, because if men will be completely honest, you're never 100% happy. Can we keep it a stack? There's no such thing. It's something that can always be better in life. Always. But that's not the purpose of life. That's not the purpose of life. It's not. So we keep on teaching our daughters to prioritize themselves over the community, prioritize themselves over the family, prioritize themselves over good people. Because why would you be in a relationship? Why would you be married to somebody that you don't feel is a good person? Don't make sense, man. And the problem that y'all finna start having, man, these young men they see this.
So how do y'all feel?
Well, if the marriage wasn't working and she's not happy in the marriage, then I can't see how marriage would work if somebody's not happy.
We saw it all the time. That's what our forefathers did. It wasn't about happiness. It wasn't about happiness. It was about them young people that's coming up behind you that need to see how this shit work. So you know what they did? They fought through them hard times. You know what happens usually after that? Y'all grow stronger together. That's what adversity come with. When you go through something together, your bond becomes stronger. But for some reason in this modern day society, when that first bit of adversity comes, it's time to break your family up. And we wonder why the children are the way they are today. Because I'm pretty sure she's gonna have primary custody. They're gonna live with the mama more. Isaiah 3:12, women destroy the households. Women destroy these kids when they were by themselves. That's what the Bible say. Let me read it right quick, because I don't want y'all to just think I'm just fussing. I'm just on here just ranting. Let's go in this Bible. This is Isaiah chapter 3:12. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. That's Bible. So we breaking up our families and allowing the women to be primarily the teachers of the family. Let me read it again. As for my people, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy paths. Because a lot of these men was raised by their mamas. A lot of these women was raised by their mamas. And we looking at how the society look today. Like they talk about, right? This is what they talk about, right? Who's the prize, the man or the woman? Obviously the man, because once you start removing good men from having kids and starting families, the community went in the fucking trash. That's how you know the man is the prize. Because when good women get with bad guys, the community go to shit. Because all women are good women, right? We gotta put that out there. All women are good women, but not all men are good men. Not all men are good men. So if you don't pick a good man, the community go to shit. That's how you know the man is more important than your career and your happiness. Being with somebody that actually has some integrity, some morals and values, is very important. Because especially when we get on these different platforms, right? We want to talk about how bad white supremacy is, right? So why when your main priority is to find somebody that can help you fight that?
So no, you can't prioritize a marriage because both people need to be happy and working on the marriage.
But that's usually not what goes on. Most men, you can't even tell your wife that you're not happy. Most men, you can't even tell you can't correct your wife and tell her, hey, you know, this right here could be a little bit better. That'll probably make me a little bit happier. What she start doing? She start complaining and trying to flip this shit back on you like what you just said ain't valid. If men was to move like women, there would be no families. Because there's no such thing as being 100% happy, man. That's not what life about. What y'all don't understand is men are way better people. Men care about the community more than women do. But the problem is, y'all don't like good men. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. You wanna know why? Because your daddy said you gotta figure out what a good man is on the back end when you don't fucking know. Why would I leave my daughter the responsibility of finding what a good man is when she ain't never been one? When I myself had to build myself into a good man, why wouldn't I be able to see that in another man? That's my responsibility for my daughters, because you wanna know why? I'm a man. I know the characteristics of a good man. But if your daughter got to figure it out later, you didn't do your job. You didn't do your job.
And if they're not doing that, then the marriage should dissolve.
I agree. My thing is, a woman should prioritize what she wants to do and what she expects out of life, and what she wants for her kids and for her husband if she has one.
And that's detrimental to the community, because that's not what life about. And let's run it back. Let's run it back. Let me see if y'all caught it. Let's see if y'all caught it. Let's run it back. Let's see if y'all caught it.
On the marriage. And if they're not doing that, then the marriage should dissolve.
I agree. My thing is, a woman should prioritize.
A who? A who? A who?
Be happy and working on the marriage. And if they're not doing that, then the marriage should dissolve.
I agree. My thing is, a woman should. My thing is, a woman should. My thing is, a woman should prioritize what she wants to do and what she expects out of life, and what she wants for her kids and for her husband.
Boom. The men ain't being taught that though. The men ain't being taught that. The problem is when the men think like that, y'all have an issue. You wanna know why? Because they don't stay around to raise their kids. This is what you know. This is something for you young men. If you know that the woman that you're dealing with think like this, you should try to figure this out immediately. That should be on the first thing on the priority list. She gonna prioritize herself and what she want for her man to do. Watch this. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not. but give not thyself over to a light woman. The scriptures tell you as a man, you're supposed to have a wife after your mind. Her purpose was to aid you. That's what she was created for. So if she in a mode where she's going to prioritize the things that she wants out of life, she needs to stay single. Because once you get married, your life is not your own anymore. We say that all the time, right? Because the man is supposed to protect and provide, right? Because his life is not his own. He's responsible for other people. Guess what, sis? You're supposed to be responsible for people too. And your happiness is not wound up in that. Let me read it again. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 and verse 26. Has thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, because that's one of the issues. When y'all get good women, y'all don't stay with them. If your woman on your program and she trying to do what's required to make the relationship work, don't break that up. Don't destroy her. Don't be cheating. Don't be committing adultery on the sister that you know is doing things the right way. Very simple concept, but we don't understand that.
There's one, and if it's not working out for her and the red flag's there, adios.
And that ain't what we teaching the sons. That ain't what we teaching the sons, because we teaching our men to be patient when a woman think like this. We teaching the men that you're supposed to be selfless and just allow life to fucking happen to you. That's what we teaching the sons. We ain't teaching the men this. And I want to say something right quick. I want to get something right quick, because the thought process might be, oh, you just want everybody to be miserable, right? No. Listen to this. Ecclesiastes chapter 14 and verse 11. My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself and give the Lord his due offering. What is the Lord's due offering? It's for you to keep the commandments. Priority number one, when you're keeping the commandments, it's family structure. Doing things the right way, doing things in the proper order. Like I said earlier, most of the time when you think about teenage life, you start doing a bunch of things that you ain't supposed to be doing. Right? We don't prioritize marriages. We like to have sex with multiple people before we find the person that we want. Let me read it again. My son, according to thy ability, do good to thyself, because it's not about just living a miserable life. In all your capabilities, you're supposed to try to make sure your life is pleasant, right? You're supposed to be at least be content with your life. So if it's in your power to do good to yourself, do that. We ain't telling people to be unhappy. But the issue is this: most people are selfish. You wanna know why I know that? Because these families are breaking up. Look, the reason why y'all got married in the first place was because y'all loved each other, right? That's supposed to be the purpose. So if y'all love each other, y'all should be willing to put the work in to make it work. That's very simple, right? And give the Lord his due offering, because you're supposed to give the Lord what he want, right? The Lord don't want you to do nothing but keep the commandments. That's what the Lord wants you to do. But we don't do that.
Period.
So I want you to ask your father, if at all possible, ask your father, why do you want your daughter to find out on the back end later, after she didn't experience some stuff, what a good man is? As a 13-year-old girl, I'm teaching my daughter what a good man is. You wanna know why? I'm going to be modeling it. You see it every day. You see it every day. You know who I am. You see how I move. You see the characteristics. I'm teaching you. I'm telling you. I'm being verbal. I'm teaching it to you. Then when you come in contact with him, I see different characteristics in him. That ain't good for you. We don't do that though. I say this all the time. A lot of y'all fathers are bozos. A lot of y'all fathers are horrible dudes. They not good men. We set our daughters up for failure, man. We don't teach our daughters what they supposed to be doing, man. We don't teach our daughters and protect our daughters. We don't. We just let them go out in the world and let horrible niggas destroy them. Because that's what happens in that process. That's the problem that I don't think a lot of people see. What he just said, in that process of going through stuff and finding out what a good man is later, there's a lot of trauma in that. There's a lot of relationship trauma in that. So that shit sound good, right? Like he said, just live life as a teenage female. What does that mean? What does that mean? Actually, let's go in the Bible right quick, but I know what it means. I know what it means. This is Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29. Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom and the land become full of wickedness. Because that's, to my understanding, most teenagers was doing shit they had no business. I was lame. I want to, you know what I'm saying? Especially in high school, I wasn't doing nothing. I was trying to play football and get my lesson. But I heard them stories in that locker room. I heard them stories in class of, I could see different things floating around school. I could see different situations where girls crying in the hallway, girls running out of class. Why? Because they being grown as teenagers. Trying to figure out what life about, trying to have fun, trying to fulfill their happiness in the pursuit of happiness. Well, I couldn't wait on this one, bro. I ain't even left for work yet, man. I had to get this shit off, man. This shit bothered me when I seen it, man, because it bothered me because when I say that the men are destroying the women, people don't want to believe that. People don't want to believe that. The men are destroying the women. The men that don't stick around to take care of their kids, y'all destroying a subgroup of the children. The men that are in their kids' lives who are dumb as hell, who don't understand life, because they should speak. A multitude of years should teach wisdom, but it don't. It don't. He said, mighty men are not always wise. Aged men are not always wise. Men of stature, men that have lived a bunch of years, they are not always wise. So even though you had a father in your life, don't mean he taught you properly. You wanna know why? Ain't no rules. Everybody just out here making this shit up as they go. Everybody just out here making this shit up as they go. Whatever sound good, whatever sound good in society, you scared to get some backlash. You scared of everybody saying, oh no, you're a misogynist. If my daughter ain't gonna have to go through the trauma that most women went through, I'll be a damn misogynist. Because the crazy part about being a misogynist in this day and age, you call a misogynist for trying to protect your daughter, man. Being a good father in modern day society is being a misogynist. That's crazy. Because if he would have said, oh yeah, for sure, having a good man is very important. That's top thing on the priority list. A lot of women don't understand that. You can get your degree. Get your degree. That can help aid my household. If that could help you be better in my household, that's fine. The degree is not the problem. Y'all don't know how to deal with each other in a family structure, which is the most important thing. A lot of these women who got degrees, they're growing old and they trying to have babies by themselves. They go in the smoke. Like, that's why, what is it? It was an article not too long ago that women are feeling some type of way because it's running out of black sperm at the sperm bank. Because y'all not finding no men and y'all trying to have babies by y'allself. Because the degree was most important. The career was most important. So now you 40, trying to freeze your damn eggs because you don't know how to work with a man. Which is the purpose of life. And it's probably it's the only thing that I truly remember. It's a few things that I learned from white people growing up, and they both came from coaches. I'll never forget this in college. Coach Jerry Moore. He said, life about people. And when you read the Bible, that's true. The best thing you can have in your life is good people around you, loyal people around you, righteous people around you, people that's gonna see when you're doing wrong and tell you, hey bro, you're going the wrong way, bro. That's gonna get you destroyed. Hey, come this way. Because that's love according to the Bible. That's Leviticus chapter 19, verse 17, 18. To correct me is to love me. To teach me is to love me. But that's judging in our community. Because I know people gonna watch this video and like, why he fussing? He fussing at an older man. Tell me I'm wrong. With actual evidence, because the way things, because what he just said is how society going right now. Society in shambles, my nigga. It is what it is, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. I had to get this off my chest. That thing bothered me. think bother me, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments.